Today, my wife is having a pretty special in-person ceremony where she's going to get her Canadian citizenship. And to mark that special occasion and make that day a bit more special, I decided to drive her there in this. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you all about this brand new 2024 Mustang GT Convertible. Then I'm going to share a couple of highlights from my wife's citizenship ceremony. And we're going to conclude today's video by dining out in one of the best restaurants in Ontario, Canada. So let's do it. All right, I'm going to start today's video by showing you one of the coolest features that the new Mustangs have. First, I just gotta remote start it. This is nothing really special, but look what happens when I press on this sequence. Unlock and lock. So as you heard, these new Mustangs come with a pretty special new feature called remote rev. So you press unlock and lock, you stand outside of the car, and the car revs for you. One of the coolest features I've ever seen in my life. Whatever product manager at Ford decided to do it and whoever signed off on it, thank you so much. And of course, the fun with one of these cars does not stop there. First of all, it's a convertible, right? So on a day like this today, it's 36 degrees in Toronto. You put the roof down, and it immediately becomes the highlight of your day. I also call the paint scheme of this car a special Canadian edition. Reminds me a lot of the Canadian flag, which is very fitting what I rented this car for. Now, the exterior color is called Race Red, and the interior is called Carmine Red. I would say on a car like this combo works very well, but the car is very striking. So you definitely attract a little bit of attention with this car, and people are turning their heads sometimes when you drive by. This car also has a what Ford calls a grin-generating 5-liter V8 Coyote engine with 480 horsepower. I actually wanted to put that engine to the test and see if it actually generates a grin on my face when I want to accelerate. It does generate a grin on your face, that's for sure. This specific car is also optioned with the active valve exhaust system, and it has 4 different modes: quiet, normal, sport, and track. There's definitely a lot of difference between quiet and normal, but I didn't hear a lot of difference between sport and track, but hear it for yourself. New Mustangs also come with redesigned full LED headlights and taillights with their signature turn signal animation. But my favorite feature is the sound that the turn signal makes from inside. It actually reminds me of something. And speaking of the interior, new Mustangs come with these 2 pretty big screens. So we have 12.4-inch digital gauge cluster and 13.2-inch infotainment system. One of the coolest features that the new Mustangs have is when you go into cluster theme, you have normal, which is obviously normal, sport, track, but the coolest gauges are actually from a classic 67 to 68 Mustang, Fox Body, and SVT Cobra. I personally, when I was driving this car for the last 3 days, I left it into Fox Body 87 to 93, and then I put my CarPlay on, and it's such a weird, I guess you can call it juxtaposition. You have digital gauge cluster from an 87 Mustang, and you have brand new Apple CarPlay technology to the right. Kind of doesn't really compute in my head, but hey, with new Mustangs, you have that option. Now the seats for the driver and the passenger are both heated and ventilated, and the driver's seat also has a memory function. You have your USB and USB-C port. Now, the problem that I found with this car is that all of the climate control functions are done through the screen. So your fan speed, your temperature, your heated or ventilated seats. I wish there was a knob somewhere for at least your kind of temperature maybe. Thanks to Ford, at least we have a volume button, so that's great. You don't have to take your eyes off the road, or you can simply use the controls on your steering wheel. But I wish there was a button for, you know, kind of your temperature somewhere here. You sort of get used to it with time, but something to keep in mind. And if you decide to option your Mustang with a performance pack, or you're actually gonna go for a Mustang Dark Horse, then you're going to get these Brembo brakes. Now the calipers come in red, black, and grabber blue, so you have a few choices. All right, enough of me talking. Let's take it for a drive. And starting up this car every single time is an occasion. Take a listen. So how does the new Mustang drive? Well, if you put it into normal, comfortable mode, you can cover a lot of miles in it. There's not a lot of communication between the steering wheel and the wheels. The suspension is pretty soft and mushy, as well as the 10-speed automatic. However, you put it into sport or track, the whole car stiffens up. And I think that's the whole point of a pony car, you know? One day, I want to get groceries in it. The next day, I want to drive it pretty hard on the track. And I think this is exactly where these kinds of cars shine. They can combine these two polar ends relatively well. But I also wanted to talk about a V8 that is under the hood of this car. I just recently read the news that Ford is going to keep making these V8s until the heat death of the universe, and that's great news. With all of the latest trends with like 4-cylinder engines and with electric cars, Mustang without a V8 is just not a Mustang. But V8s, especially on American cars, I just have this very unique childhood memory with them. The thing is, I was born in Russia, and actually right in the middle of Siberia. And my dad used to have a shop where he would sell parts for American cars. And I remember going to his shop/office on a daily basis, and there would be, you know, customers waiting to pick up their parts. And nearly every single day, I would see something like a Corvette or a Mustang, a lot of Grand Cherokees with their V8s rumbling and that smell of fuel, if you know what I mean. And now, when I actually get a chance to drive a V8 myself, and I actually get to experience that power, and of course now it's way more refined and the power output is much higher, it just puts this very special smile on my face that I don't think any other engine can really do. And I think the first part of this video is now complete. Let's go into part 2, where we're going to participate in my wife's Canadian citizenship ceremony together. And in the meantime, I'm going to put this car through what I call a wife test. You know, asking wives about cars, like features and emotions in general, is the best indicator if the car is fun or not. So I'm going to ask her all of the questions about if she likes this car or not. Does she like how it sounds? Does she like how it looks? So, without further ado, let's go for it. All right, you're looking nice. Let me see. Turn around. All right, perfect for the Citizenship Day. How are you feeling?
Amazing. I can't believe it's happening.
And as I said earlier, she actually doesn't know about it yet, but I decided to do something special for today. And we're not going to be taking any Ubers to our citizenship ceremony. Instead, we're going to take something special. What?
Where did you even get that?
I have my ways. What are your initial emotions?
You're crazy. What?
What? How's the color?
It's on point.
Yeah.
Almost feels like you planned something.
Yeah. All right.
That's insane.
We're gonna jump in and be on our way.
Thank you.
Immediately fixing everything.
got a nice mirror right here.
First impressions of a convertible?
It's really cool. I feel like it's my car.
Yeah? Are you gonna get a convertible?
I think that should be my first car.
Yeah? Your first car?
100%. A convertible.
What do you think about the interior?
I mean, it's really nice.
Yeah?
I really love the screen. I don't know
Yeah.
the age of the car.
2024. So it's brand new pretty much.
Wow. It does look new and it feels new too.
Yeah.
Like with
Still smells new.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. And I don't know, I just can't appreciate enough the screens. I feel like
Yeah. You like the screens?
yeah, it's thank you very much. I guess that's the downside of
Yeah, the downside of convertibles is that like all the noises and smells.
And smells, I guess.
Yeah. And one of the things I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video is that this car is pretty much equipped with every single safety feature you can imagine. You have cruise control, you have lane keep assist, you have pre-collision assist, you have blind spot monitoring system, you have cross traffic alert. The only thing that this specific car is missing, and I'm not quite exactly sure if Mustangs actually come with this option, is the 360 view. So you only have the rear view camera and that's it. But the definition and the quality of that camera is really, really nice. How are you feeling?
Nervously excited.
Nervously excited. Okay, yeah, I think they let everybody in already. We'll be last.
I think mostly nervous because everybody's looking at us.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay, you go in, I'll just pay for parking.
So as you continue your life here, remember this day when you became a citizen. Think about everything you can do every day forward to strengthen our country.
How does it feel to be a new Canadian?
It's thrilling. It's weird.
Yeah?
It's cold.
And it's freezing in here.
It's freezing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it still doesn't quite like register here.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wait to take some pictures with the judge, and
We're both Canadians.
both Canadians right now, and then there's a small surprise planned for the end of this video. We're both hungry, so that's a bit of a spoiler alert.
And cold.
Yes, we're gonna get warm. See you soon. And a small surprise at the end was us dining out at, well, one of the best restaurants in Ontario, Canada, which is actually located in Elora Mill. Elora Mill is a hotel and spa, and they also have a restaurant in there. So we're just gonna eat some lunch there, enjoy this weather. It's like 30 degrees for the I don't know how many days in a row now. You've been to Elora Mill before?
I have been to Elora. Elora as in
The city?
small town.
Oh, the town, yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's like such a cute little town.
Mm-hmm.
I hate comparing to other places. I'm a true believer that we should be enjoying things, you know, in places where we are. But it does feel more, like it has more European touch. Let's just say. I don't want to compare it to like, oh, it's like Europe. It's not like Europe, but it has more European touch.
And then also wanted to suggest there is a YouTuber, Bright Sun Travels. His name is Jake, and he recently reviewed Elora Mill Hotel. And he and his wife, I think they stayed at one of the nicest rooms. Very nice review, highly suggest. I'm gonna link his channel somewhere in the video, but very good review of that hotel. So maybe next time we'll go to one of those rooms. Thank you. First impressions. It's nice. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like old modern.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like with the vibe of Elora itself, like it's just
Perfectly matches. Yeah. It's nice that it adds this modern touch, but it doesn't forget it's kind of like it's the exposed everything.
its roots. You know,
Its
it doesn't
roots,
forget
yeah.
its roots.
We just paid. I had a burger with some fries, and Alina had some pasta.
We're passing out.
We're passing out. How was it?
We're walking and sleeping.
Yeah. How was the food?
Because we were so hungry. We didn't eat anything. So we woke up at like what, 4:45,
Yeah.
and we only had coffee. We were like,
Yeah. We're still tired, but
but the food was really, really good. And
So-
I think I overheard they used the tomatoes from their own farm.
yeah.
Can't say anything about the rest of the ingredients, but it seems like it's also locally sourced.
I'm gonna just put on the screen right now how much that cost us, and it was just a bit north of $100 with the tip included, well, tip and tax. But I would say it was a pretty good lunch.
Oh, it was a really good lunch.
Yeah. And with that, this video comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this and subscribe.
Obviously like it. Obviously
Yeah.
subscribe because he's doing such an amazing
Yeah,
job.
well, I have at least one subscriber.
And that's our dog, Bella.
Our dog Bella, yeah. Okay, bye. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.